Have you ever thought about van life or RV life and wondering, is it for me? Well, guess what? Today I'm going to show you all about what my day is typically like. And if it's something you might want to do, you'll have an idea. So welcome, my name is Charlie Grace, and here's a day in my life. So as with most mornings, I wake up. Now the first thing I do every day when I wake up is I take a look at the weather. This sounds like a crazy thing, but weather changes can really impact where I'm traveling, how I'm traveling, where I'm going. And I have an awesome furry co-pilot named Rosie that goes with me, and pretty much all my travels are about her comfort. So weather's important. I check my weather and then I get up. Now I'd like to say it's really simple about getting up, but the reality is once I'm up, Rosie is up as well, which means she's got to go outside. So you'll hear this a lot. It's going out with the dog. Always really important. I get up and I put her harness on her, and I make sure we have poop bags in my pocket and tied to the leash, and then we go for a nice long walk, which is great. And she loves walks, and we love to go places. Morning time is her favorite time to go walking. So let's go take a look at Rosie. All right, once we come back from our walk, then it's time to start talking about breakfast. Now, I hate to say this, but she and I always have like pretty much the same breakfast every day. We make scrambled eggs, and sometimes we have fried potatoes. We do it on my induction cooktop stove, which I love, by the way, super handy. And we like to make sure that we're looking at our batteries. So a lot of things, boondocking, van life, you start looking, going, how much electricity do I have from the night before? And you start thinking, do I have enough electricity to turn on the induction cooktop? How am I going to do this? So sometimes I make a little extra just in case, save for some scrambled eggs for the next day. You never know what's going to happen with the sun and with the solar. Now, I'm a Southern gal, so although a lot of my friends out there drink coffee, I love my sweet tea. So I have a sweet tea in the morning after I get her fed and do all these wonderful things, turn on my computers, and then get to work. Now, what I didn't tell you was the night before is really important because I have to work and I have to have internet. So if I'm boondocking, I need to make sure I have my Starlink set up or have my T-Mobile set up. I've got that all running before I even go to bed. There's a lot more that goes into it than that because I do work on the road. As a digital nomad, these things are really important. So I need to make sure I watch my battery life, I watch my internet, and where I park, I'm able to stay for a little longer in the morning because I have work to do and my meetings start super early in the morning. I typically don't leave after I've been parked overnight until, maybe like 9 or 10 in the morning, and then I go on to whatever destination I'm going to go to. Speaking of destinations, now sometimes I can fly by the seat of my pants. Many times I like to plan. I do have a calendar I go through. I like to see, where can I park? I'm looking for safety. I'm looking for security. I'm looking for things that, are going to be easy on the dog because you know what? We did the morning walk. We're going to do a mid-morning walk. We're going to do an afternoon walk. We're going to do an evening walk. She's going to go outside a lot and do things. So as long as she's happy, I'm happy. So after my full day of working, which can sometimes be 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, sometimes 10 hours, it just depends on the day. So a great example is after I'm done with work, I love to go to small towns. I love to go to scenic sites. I love to go hiking. I love to go take pictures and take Rosie out for long walks in the afternoon. So that's sort of my typical afternoon, and here's an example of what I'm talking about. Once I'm done with all my excursions, if I didn't get food out while I was walking around doing things, I'll come back and make a nice big dinner. Rosie and I can chill, relax, and enjoy the evening. Make sure I start to get things ready and prepared for the evening. So it depends on where I'm parked for the night. If I'm boondocking in some interesting locations, time to set up those Amazon Blink cameras and point them outwards. Time to put out my security devices. I won't save all of what I have because it's nice to, keep the mystery alive. But the bottom line is to be very safe. If I'm parked somewhere, I don't feel really comfortable about spending the night, guess what? I'll just move. I'll look at my iOverlander app. I'll look at my Allstays app. I'll look on all these different apps that I have around and see if there's things that might be a better fit. And then before you know it, guess what? We're tucked in the back. I call it the lounge area because my bedroom area is really, really comfortable. I have an 80 by 80 bed when I put it all together, and it's just nice. We can sit down, watch a movie, enjoy some, catch up on some emails, and just relax for the evening. I love my bedroom area in my Winnebago Echo. It's very relaxing. I love when I open the windows, I get a cross breeze, and it's just one of those things where Rosie and I can relax, watch a movie, catch up on emails, whatever we need to do, and just have that decompression time. All right, I bet you have questions about some really big things, such as when do I take showers and how do I empty my cassette toilet? Let's talk about that. So I found out that I take about 4 gallons of water to take a shower. Now that is a luxurious shower. It's on and off, but it's still really nice, washing my hair, doing all that great stuff. So I take a shower anywhere that I want, quite honestly. I've taken showers in Cracker Barrel parking lots. I like to take showers when I'm doing my laundry, actually. Sometimes I'll go places, I'll do my laundry, put it in, come back, take a quick shower, go back and move it into the dryer, things like that. I love taking nice hot showers, and because my Winnebago Echo has 50 gallons of water, I have lots of opportunities. Now, cassette toilets. If you've never had a cassette toilet and you're a little worried about these things, I had a black tank before this. It was like 13 gallons. I thought, I got plenty of time. I don't need to empty that anytime soon. Cassette toilets are a little bit different. So my cassette toilet gets dumped about every 5 to 7 days when I'm by myself. And typically I go in restrooms, or if I'm going by a campground, I'll just dump it in the dump station there. I do all sorts of places, rest stops. You'd be surprised where I end up dumping this. But I just take it, dump it, we're good to go. Rinse it with a little bit of water, throw in some lovely smell pretty chemicals to make sure it's all sanitized, and it's ready for the next use. So things that bother me on the road. I do get a little bit of parking anxiety sometimes. There are days when I'm doing a lovely event and I'm driving around and it's 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go, oh, where am I gonna park? I like to plan. I'm one of those people who like to plan a little better. So that's sort of something that I'm working through. I've been doing this a long time and I still get parking anxiety. It happens to everybody. If you're thinking about trying RV life or van life on the road and you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I've been doing this for a while, and I'll tell you what, everybody does it differently. And at the end of the day, it's all about you. This is your journey, your adventure, and that's what the most important thing is. So thanks for watching. Do me a favor, give me a like, hit that bell to get notified. I put out new videos every single week on cool topics on RV life, van life, overlanding. We'd love to have you be a part of our adventure crew. So until next week, safe travels and happy tails.